Good morning and welcome, everybody. Hi, how are you?
Good. Pretty good. Yourself?
Are you doing very good?
Very well.
Very well.
Very well. That's good grammar.
Proper grammar.
That's what we're all about here at Butt Stuff. Proper grammar. Listeners, we need you to comment, post. Make sure you let us know if we use improper grammar at any point during the podcast, because we need to know that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I called you out on that. I always feel like such a douche, but it's just like I had like a really shitty 6th grade teacher who like if you ever misspoke like that, she would just light you up in front of the entire class.
Is this Mrs. Rankin?
Whoa, blasting government.
Oh, hey.
It's all right. I'm going to say her name. She yelled at me one time for eating goldfish too loudly during while she was reading a book.
Wow.
And she put me on blast in front of the whole class, and made me really self-conscious about ever eating again.
There was this one girl, Damie Partapillo, and
Damie Partapillo.
told on me for being stinky.
Ooh.
Is like cigarette stinky or just like BO stinky?
BO stinky, I think.
Ooh,
Which grade is this?
that's rude.
Miss Skankins.
Was this around the time?
I can't say Miss Rankins, but you can say Miss Skankins.
Yeah.
It's masked. It's not.
Is this around the time when before when you're a kid and it's before you're using deodorant, but like you're supposed to use deodorant?
Yes, this was when I was transitioning from once a week showers to everyday showers.
You were becoming a man. You were going from boys to men.
Yeah, the fucked up thing is that I had been jerking off like a whole year before that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
and only showering once a week.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I didn't have the pit stinks yet.
Yeah. Kids.
I was still a boy, just slapping his wiener around. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, how's
Sarah
that
commented.
for you? What did she say?
She said comment.
Okay. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for commenting. This is Butt Stuff Podcast, by the way. I'm sure you already know because you seeked us out somewhere.
You suck.
You sucked us out? What's the past tense of seek? Seek?
Sook. I sook them.
You sook us out somewhere. So you probably already know what you're listening to. But in case like you're in the car, your friend puts it on, and you're like, hey, what is this podcast? What are we listening to?
And you're like, these guys are really cool. I think
these guys sound really handsome and really cool.
DJ, I think you're putting the listeners to sleep.
That Ed character has such rugged mountain man features.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes my knees weak.
Makes them shake.
Is that a mullet? He's so conventionally unhandsome. No.
That's a throwback look you got going, man.
It's very true.
You're calling it back to a different time.
A time that I was not a part of at all.
Yeah. Well,
I'm appropriating douchebags in the 80s.
You gotta throw it back to the times that inspired you. Did you watch a lot of John Hughes movies?
A lot of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. You could be AC Slater right now.
Have you gone back and watched any Saved by the Bell?
No.
Have you ever came across it on TV and left it on?
Not recently. I mean, years ago.
The only thing I've watched related to that, I used to watch Saved by the Bell before school every morning because that was on. I used to love it, but now the most recent thing I've watched related to that is the Zach Morris's Trash on.
That's what I was
that funny
gonna
guy.
get into. That's it's crazy watching it and just how raw it is. It's just raw, toxic, fucking
He's
shit.
He's a complete scumbag in all of the episodes,
but it's somehow still painted as the protagonist.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a different time. It was back when
there was this one episode where fucking this is back in the time where you could basically a new kid would come to school and he would be cooler than you and you'd get him expelled by saying that he's selling drugs at a party or something like that.
Okay.
And still all your friends will love you and think you're the coolest person. I'm trying to think of like other crazy ones. I don't know. But like to me, Saved by the Bell, I mean, crawled so that Boy Meets World could walk, you know? That was my generation.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know if I would. I guess they are kind of similar.
Yeah.
Boy Meets World was the shit.
Yeah.
That is a fact for anyone listening who hasn't watched that show.
What was what is the shitty John Travolta one that crawled so everybody could walk? He became famous for Welcome Back, Trotter.
Welcome back,
Mr.
Cotter.
Cotter.
Mr. Cotter.
Dude, and he was doing that fucking stupid like 70s dance. in
That
there.
was that
my
was
God.
like one of his first roles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
broke out on there. He was like an ancillary character and just took off or something like that.
And then made his bones on Saturday Night Fever.
Doing the same dance.
Doing the same dance, although that is another movie that it comes off very poorly these days.
Yeah,
If
isn't he like pinching girlies' asses and shit like that?
he tries to rape a girl in a car and she's just like no, and then he shows up the next day and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry,
He's like, come on, Sandy.
let's be friends.
Oh my God, baby.
Oh my God,
Sandy, I'm sorry I'm too cool to hang out with you at school.
that was so crazy.
But that summer was wild.
Like I watched that, everyone told me that that's like a classic basically, and I watched it and I was like, holy shit, like this is like a pretty terrible movie.
That's the one with. Is that the same one with Mark Wahlberg? Or no. What's the
No.
movie with Mark Wahlberg where he's
That's
the
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights,
where he's
yeah,
the
okay.
porn star.
Yeah.
There's so many
Different
movies.
movie.
Dude. So Mark Wahlberg and Boogie Nights crawled so that fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt could walk in Don John. You know?
I never saw Don John.
Oh, dude, it's basically it's just like my friend Ricky. Okay,
Mhm.
my friend Ricky.
Is that where he
we
got
used to
his,
call him Don Ricky? The whole movie is basically this this attractive woman is dating this Jersey Shore douchebag
Mhm.
that is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and basically he's addicted to porn and like has to jerk off like 15 different times a day or something like that, and he
Wow.
like the whole conflict in the movie is just like, you got this beautiful girl right here and you're gonna do nothing about it, you're gonna be watching your screens, and then basically the movie progresses, she leaves him. Can I spoil it or are you gonna watch it?
I'm not gonna.
You
Watch
can
this
you can
movie.
spoil it.
All right, guys. Skip 30 seconds if you don't want Don John rooting for you.
Mhm.
He finds some like 45-year-old, like average-looking chick, but like and it's just like, wow, this is love. She's also addicted to porn. It's like, it's just basically.
Oh.
they,
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
well, it's like the whole, I don't know. It's like a shitty romantic comedy with just. I feel bullied. I feel bullied right now. I
You're the
feel
one
so-
that brought this up.
I know.
And that was the clapping for the end of the movie. They ended it happily ever after.
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't Tony Danza the dad in that?
I don't know. Probably.
I think so.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Tony Danza.
So, what do we got up here on this screen here?
Guys, last night was UFC 261. It was a night filled with kicks, punches, and all kinds of spectacular knockouts. I gotta say, it was a good bout of events. This is see someone win in a very short amount of time. This is so Chris Weidman is a longtime MMA fighter. He's the one, the wide man. Yes. If you guys recognize the name Anderson Silva, he's one of the most decorated UFC fighters of all time.
Tap out.
Anderson Silva,
Ed Hardy.
yes,
Affliction.
Mhm.
Is that one? All right. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it is. So Anderson Silva was one of the first people to beat him, and he broke his leg fighting Chris Weidman. So we're about to see Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall. You can go ahead and hit play here. So you can see they're going at
Yep,
it.
they're going at it here.
They're trading punches, and Chris Weidman with
Oh!
with,
Well, oh my
What
god!
a pussy.
Oh, dude, yeah. I was wondering. I was like, is he gonna break his leg due to his home fall?
first round knockout.
Wow, man. Dude,
So
you can't kick
what
someone and break
happened
their own
was-
leg.
Is the fight goes on for about 15 seconds. He throws a right leg kick. his leg snaps over the other guy's leg, basically wraps around the other dude's leg, and then comes back. And if you watch it again, he doesn't even realize it when his leg breaks. So he just goes to stand on it again and puts all of his weight
Yeah.
and then falls over. Like his leg completely snaps and he doesn't even realize it.
I fell
Basically.
and hurt my
And
tummy.
alley oop.
Ah!
Oh boy.
Oh, and look at him. He's like, yo, bro, I didn't
Oh.
even touch you.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't even throw. We were debating last night if that was the first ever UFC victory where the person who won didn't even throw a punch or anything like that.
That
Damn,
was the
dude.
first, dude. That's the first kick, the first contact of that match. This guy just breaks his fucking leg.
Yeah.
What a fucking douchebag!
I mean, so maybe that's the strategy.
what
is
a
it-
piece of shit!
Is instead of working on the offense, you work on the defense. You just line your bones.
Oops.
You know, you do like the Wolverine adamantium.
Yeah, you just there's another dude in the UFC who's I think he's like an Australian guy who I believe his name is Volkanovski, and they were showing that he, in order to like strengthen his legs, he just like kicks a bamboo post like over and over again to strengthen his shins. So that way when he's kicking people, it'll hurt more, and when people kick him, like he won't feel it as much.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty good plan, although also it probably hurts a lot just
Yeah.
kicking a bamboo
No, I
rod
think it's
over and over
easier to
again.
just put the metal in your body.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to go cyborg with it.
Yeah,
basically.
You just keep it all under the skin, you know?
Mhm.
They don't know. It's like, what do they do in baseball with the cork in the bats?
Yeah, they cork the bats.
Yeah, it's just the opposite. You just, you're just stealing up your legs.
yeah, exactly. You're giving yourself a little bit of an extra advantage, you know. But yeah, so
Wow.
that was a pretty
He's a pussy.
pretty gnarly leg break
So
there.
you were saying Chris Weidman is the guy that beat what Anderson Silva?
This dude, he fought Anderson Silva, and Anderson Silva broke his leg the exact same way. Like he was one of the
Oh,
first
no
people to
shit.
beat Anderson Silva, and he broke his leg doing the same thing. And then it
Karma.
was some like
It's like a
kind of
curse.
crazy story. Like the other dude that he was fighting was the last person to fight Silva too, and then he broke his leg in this way.
This guy is Uriah Hall.
Yeah, so that was pretty gnarly.
Damn, dude. Yeah.
What type of do you think he was like how do you break your leg and not realize it?
It's just so much adrenaline, probably.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can see if they, I don't know if they'll have it, but like
What did Rogue have to say about this?
he interviewed Uriah Hall afterwards, and he was just like, so obviously, like, this isn't the way you wanted to win, but like, what are your thoughts on the match? And the guy had to take a solid like 10 seconds to just like kind of wipe his brow and be like, you know, a lot of respect for that dude. That's not the way we wanted things to happen, obviously. You know,
It's
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
props to him and his family.
It's like,
That
man, I
was-
didn't want that to happen to him. I wanted to beat his face in the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I haven't been nervous before a fight in a really long time, but I came in nervous into this one. And, you know, obviously this isn't the way we wanted things to happen. I hope he's okay.
Dude, he skipped
Obviously.
the Kill Bill part. The guy who broke his leg, all right?
Yeah.
He didn't get beat up by that guy with the weird mustache. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't skip the steps.
This guy is gonna go back and kill the guy with the weird mustache. He's the other
Hmm.
the other blonde girl.
And then he's going to kick his way out of a grave buried underground.
I wonder if Uriah Hall is like, what's his face? Bruce Willis from Unbreakable.
Oh, yeah, but maybe. Then he just doesn't know that he's like basically a superhero. I thought you were going to say,
That guy's like Mr. Glass.
I thought you were going to say he was like Bruce
His
Willis.
leg is made of glass anyway. Am I
Yeah.
right?
I thought you were going to say he was like Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction, where he's just going to jump over the fence and then hop in a cab. And then they're just like, what happened? He's like, don't worry about it. Just drive.
Didn't he kill a guy in the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't he supposed
And
to
he-
throw the fight or something?
He doesn't know that he died until after. Yeah, he was supposed to throw the fight, and then he just kills the guy. And then they're listening to it in the radio, and they're like, "He's died." It's like, well, sorry, pal. But yeah, that was a great. There was a lot of great knockouts last night.
What were the odds on this fight? Do you know?
I don't know what the odds were. I think it was pretty even.
Dude, how stoked do you think the people who picked like that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
Just
like
first
Jim-
kick. Hey,
That's like Jim picking up Dogecoin at 3 cents.
yeah.
I'm actually looking at it right now. It's at 26. Trying to find the dip when I can buy in.
Hopefully it's dipped now.
Hopefully.
Oh, it's dipping now. I'm watching it go down.
So this other dude that so we were the way they do the fights is they do the preliminary fights on ESPN and then it goes to pay-per-view after the preliminaries. So we were going to watch the preliminaries and then switch over to the pay-per-view. But on ESPN right after the preliminaries, instead of switching over to the pay-per-view, they had a boxing match of this dude who had won 17 straight fights by knockout, and the average duration of every fight was 98 seconds. So we were just like, well, we were going to watch UFC, but I mean, if this is going to take 90 seconds for this guy to knock another guy out, we might as well just watch this entire fight.
Yeah.
It ended up going the distance, but
You know how I know you're a good guy, DJ?
how?
I feel like you've never watched a bootleg pay-per-view. I feel like every pay-per-view you viewed, you have somebody has paid.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I don't want to incriminate myself, but
Yeah, we don't want any outside
Let's,
agencies looking too much into it.
yeah, exactly. Let's just say I watched it.
Oh.
I don't know how I watched it.
He
It
went
was just
to-
on at the place that I was at.
DJ went to a Buffalo Wild Wings and they paid for it.
I went to a B-Dubs. I ordered some General Tso's chicken wings, if
Oh,
that's one
General
of their
Tso
flavors.
works at Buffalo Wild Wings now?
Yeah, you got a new job.
There's a trademark though, so he's Captain Sow.
Yeah.
Admiral Sow's.
Dude, there was this huge thing about how I guess Trader Joe's. This is
Oh yes. Oh yes.
they have something called it's Trader Ming's, and it was
Oh,
like
boy.
General Tso's chicken. And I guess like it was like
They
one
had
of
a whole slew of them.
yeah. And it's just like fucking gross appropriation. Trader Juan's or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, like who was the person at the marketing table? Like, guys, I got an idea. We'll take stereotypical names and throw them.
I was just I saw I was going through I was going through my mom's fridge. She had a thing of Aunt Jemima's syrup. And do you think that that's like you could just buy a shit ton of that and sit on that for 60 years and just sell
I
it?
actually do because I think that
Haven't they already pulled it?
they pulled it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They already pulled it. So like if you
It's
can,
like Pokemon
if
cards
you
now.
can find
First
it,
edition.
can't you just like hold on to it for 90 years and then resurrect it and be like, I'm a billionaire off Aunt Jemima's?
Probably.
Do you guys want
That's
this
unfortunate.
high fructose corn syrup that I stored in this bottle?
I mean, could you imagine it's like the year 2075, you go to a diner and they have Aunt Jemima's and you're like, I haven't seen this since I was a boy.
I think
It would hit differently. It'd be nice.
It would.
the reason that they got Aunt Jemima was because they found like the old marketing documentation where it's just like, what do? We need a character that's, we don't want to have to color all these bottles. We need a nice syrup skin toned woman. And they're like, I got an idea. We'll call her Aunt Jemima. And then they find a lady, they market it, and they give her no money. And then these documents just all come out, and they're like, wow, they didn't pay Aunt Jemima model $1.
It's like the lady that made the Nike swoosh logo.
Yeah,
She
dude.
got paid like $50. It's like some like
I
ridiculous.
thought it was something like it was like $50 worth.
Yeah, it's like a grossly low. If she got anything,
You know the origin of that story? She was like, she went up to Phil Knight and was like, what kind of design do you want for this? And he was like, I don't know, just do it.
are
Get
you
it, guys?
fucking with me?
Just do it.
Oh,
Just do it. And then she was just
hang
like,
on, hang on.
here's the swoosh.
Hang on just a moment.
Wait, hold
here.
on. I gotta
Yeah.
line up the soundboard.
That's what we call a bomb in the industry.
I'm surprised you didn't do that word for me a bunch earlier there.
But that is not actually how they came up with the just do it thing. That was just me making a bad joke.
I think they probably had one of those shitty like motivational things in their office.
Yeah, the inspiration posters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
where it's just like a frisbee, just like flying through the air or something.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's an eagle grabbing a salmon out of a lake. just do it.
It's some guy mowing the lawn.
Yeah, that one's
It's honest work.
that tagline is very
Applicable.
it hinges on the inflection that you put on it.
It's just Dexter strangling a neighbor he's got into a disagreement with. Just
Do it. Just do it. Yeah, because if you say it cool like the Nike way, just do it, then that's cool. But if you have the guy mowing the lawn,
That
it's
could
like,
even just
just
the
do
way you
it.
said it could just even be a little rapey.
just do it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Nike should take that back.
Dude, who came out with
just
the
make
thing?
the shoes, guys.
Was it like Pepsi that was like never say no or something? There was some.
It was Bud Light. Take no out of your vocabulary.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that is unfortunate.
that was like
I
last
did
year,
not,
2 years ago.
Did not hear that one.
Yeah,
Dude,
they got under fire for that one.
What's his face? Dean Martin's just like, I like it. It's just the fucking baby. It's cold or not baby. Is it baby? Baby, it's cold outside, right?
Volkswagen had a thing recently where there was like
9.
dude, it was pretty ridiculous. It was like a giant white hand, I'm pretty sure, just like pushing down this black guy. And then
What?
they immediately came under fire. And the
Jeez.
CEO was like, how did we fuck this up? We already have such a troubled past. Like, we try to work on this so fucking much. And for us to just fuck up like this, he's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing?
Volkswagen somehow, I don't know how they're still a company.
Like
And they're
Nazi
the-
money.
They're the most popular cars in
They
Europe.
they
Yeah.
own like 50% of the premium brands of cars sold in Europe and throughout the world. Like it's like crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah,
It's
And-
it's a conspiracy, dude.
they lied about all that emission stuff.
So what the Nazis
Fucking
did?
crazy.
The Nazis melted all the gold down and then started. They were like, "All right, Volkswagen, we need you to like," because Volkswagen was making cars for Hitler for years.
Mhm.
Way before the Third Reich, all right? And no, I'm sorry, I'm just making all this. But I do imagine, like, when you think about it, like, it is crazy. Like,
I mean, because Volkswagen has like pretty much the whole, like we talked about Hollow Earth the other day or last week.
Yeah.
Volkswagen
Mhm.
pretty much has like the whole underground of Germany carved out, and like it's like
I'd believe it.
20 miles deep down there with reptilians and all sorts
dude,
of crazy
all
shit.
that shit.
Did you guys watch the I forget what it's called, but there's something to do with the emissions thing with Volkswagen?
Oh yeah. So what happened was they made some dirty diesels,
Yeah,
some double D's there, some double diesels, and they were like fucking terrible for the environment, and they just fudged all this fucking data and just were like, yeah, send it through, and they
Yeah.
sent it through, and then they basically all those cars that had those engines, they basically had to give a cash check or whatever, a cashier's check to them, being like, yeah, sorry, we just bought this car back. So like I was working at a car dealership at the time, and you get these
Mhm.
yahoos coming in being like, yeah, so Volkswagen just cut me a check for my entire vehicle. So what do you got?
what am I getting? They're like, here's a Toyota Corolla.
How about a nice Ford Focus? Hey, you want to, even though that vehicle got recalled and you got a check, you want a really shitty car?
Yeah,
How
I
about
mean
a Ford
that,
Focus?
and that wasn't like the only time that had. Like they've done that multiple times where they've been like, all right, now our cars are emission safe, and then it wasn't again.
Yeah,
It's like, how do you let that happen?
dude.
How do you just cancel them?
Because they're like, hey, we got these Audis, all right?
Yeah.
You want a nice
Oh,
Audi?
is that who owns Audi?
They own Audi. I want to say they own Mercedes. They own. Hold on, let's just pull up a list.
I think Mercedes is like Mercedes Daimler, unless it's because I know it's a separate stock company.
Okay,
I mean, let's
so
see.
Volkswagen owns Audi,
Wow.
Koda, Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ducati.
Wow, look at that. Volkswagen.
Ducati, Scania, and Man, excuse me. And if you're like, geez, that's a lot of companies. I'm telling you, man. What is this?
We're just talking about cars. Sorry. Anyway. Okay, I think we're gonna get sued for that. But anyway, continue.
We're gonna have
Hold on,
Mazda on our ass now.
We got a really important PSA from Paul. Something
do.
about drinking celery water to make you shoot bigger loads.
Yeah. So
You can further the loads, and then you can chase with some pineapple juice, and your nut will taste better. We talked about that last week. Paul, we kind of are on the side that might be a myth that drinking pineapple juice would make
watch,
your
she's
cum
gonna
taste
clap
better.
back and be like, "No, it's legit." But what is it called? He said
You
Volkswagen.
have to have tasted it yourself.
There
To
was this-
know. You can't trust somebody else's judgment.
So there was
on
this
that.
comic at an open mic who was just like, "This kid's a fucking savage." And we can maybe have him on here. I don't know if he wants to be put on blast, but this kid goes up there. He's just like, "So guys, I finally did it. I tasted it. The myths about the bananas are fucking like." He just goes on, and then it's just like, Jesus Christ. And then you start like wondering, did this guy really do this or did he lying for the bit? And then the next week he's just like, I did pee now too. And it's just like, fucking
Yo,
savage.
is this the guy that I fucking worked with? Jesus Christ.
No.
Oh yeah, listen to a throwback episode there.
Oh my God, dude. I still think about that sometimes where I'm
Mhm.
like, man, I can't believe I watched a man drink a quart of his own piss.
Sarah said replace the first 4 letters of your first and last name with fuck.
Wait, so
I don't get it. Is this one of those if
What-
your hand's bigger than your face, you got cancer?
yeah, so would my name be Fucks Fucky?
Yeah, mine would be fucking.
Fucking. And Donald,
I would
you'd
be fuckled fuck.
All right, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. or maybe no, that doesn't. I was gonna say fuck Jay, but that doesn't work either because
Fuck
that's
sis.
just one letter.
Fuck if. Fuck.
Fuckled fucks a fuck. Yeah,
Almost everybody.
that's a fun game. Did you
Almost
guys
every-
ever do the your porn star name where it's what is it? Isn't it the street you grew up
Austin
on
Farrell?
is supposed to be your
Yeah.
last name? And I forget what your first name is. We should flush this out before I start going off on.
What is mine? Would be like
It's your middle name and the street you grew up on.
Ralph Carriage.
Scott Chateau.
Yeah, Scott Chateau. That's perfect. I would be Joseph Chateau,
You guys would be
Joe-
like in
Joe
some,
Chateau.
in some of the films.
the Chateau brothers.
Yeah. We'd be on the.
Hey, we're the Chateau brothers.
Hey, yo, come sit on this couch.
Come mow your mom's lawn.
Scott Chateau. That's so perfect. That's funny. But yeah, that was a good time.
Sarah said she doesn't have a middle name, so what would she be? You'd be blank, and then
You would
what's
be-
what's the street you grew up on?
Would
You'd
be
be like Beyonce. You
Sarah,
just have,
Sarah Route 9.
yeah, you would just be Route 9.
yeah.
That's it. No first name, which is a pretty savage porn name. Well traveled.
9.
We have
Nikki 6.
we have confirmation on the pineapple juice coming live from Jerry down in the Navy. Can confirm that the semen.
Jerry's on the horn.
No,
No.
but he is a seaman.
No,
Paul's
Paul's-
the joke. Paul's.
Oh,
making.
okay. I see. I was gonna say shout out to Jerry.
I think Jerry fell off after I think we roasted him on one, and then he was like, "No, fucking guys."
Did
we'll,
we?
we'll get him back. We'll get him back. Trust me.
He wants to when he gets out, he wants to be a regular.
Good.
Regular
Oh, that
guest.
sounds good.
We love Jerry. Jerry's a great dude.
He wants to run the sports section of our entertainment industry.
Ooh, I like it. We can do that. We can do the sports corner with Jerry. I'd be in for that. He'd be so good on the podcast. Jerry has hot takes.
Jerry
does,
has
he does.
Super hot takes.
He has hot takes, my man.
He doesn't like old people.
Speaking of which, we recently DJ and I did we played around with Ian. Ian's trying to get back in, get his schedule changed up.
We gotta
Yeah.
get him back in. It's been
Ian's,
a while. It's been too long.
For those who, I don't know how much we went into it, but for those who don't know, Ian got a new job, so he had to kind of bow out for a little bit. We're trying to get him back on the whole thing,
Get him
but
back on the horn.
yeah, shout out to Ian. But yeah, once Jerry's in the Navy, Jerry's
August,
supposed to be
I think
getting
he
out
gets back
in
in
August.
Jerry hates the show. That's what Paul said. I hope that's not true, but I would understand.
I mean,
We just told stories about him and changed the name. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think we'll call him Terry.
We'll Terry Moffrey.
yeah. Well,
Mark
anyway,
Blankenfelder.
Mark
Still.
Blankenfelder.
Anytime you drive past Jerry's old house, you got to give it all a honk.
You gotta honk your horn.
Got to give it a toot.
That's right.
What is it? It would be Francis Holly.
Francis Holly.
That would be his porno name.
Frank
I think so.
Holly.
Frank Holly.
Frank Holly.
That's another solid
bad,
one.
yeah. That's
Frank
really
Holly
not
and the Chateau Brothers.
In the
Come
chateau.
to your mom. Go on.
Oh yeah, how did that all work out with your with the lawnmower?
The great lawnmower
Yeah,
dilemma.
yeah. What's the ending saga for the lawnmower?
So I called the place and they're like, "Oh, we don't do that model of lawnmower. You got to call Ace Hardware." So I called Ace Hardware and they're like, "Yeah, we don't do that model either." So I was like, "Hey, like nowhere does that." And then my mom was like, "All right, well, let me know when you find a place." And I was like, "Is this my full-time job now to call places to find to service your lawnmower?"
Got to do a Facebook
And I was like,
marketplace
"I
on
don't.
that.
I'm like, I'm gonna try and do it, but I'm not
This is
gonna
what you do.
like rush."
Trade your lawnmower for her lawnmower. And just be like, hey, got you this new lawnmower.
That would be very funny because my lawnmower is very, very old and rickety.
But it still works.
It does work, yes.
Dude, that'd be so
She'd
funny.
be like, "What happened? What did they do to it?"
It's so funny, dude.
Oh, you know.
I'm telling you, the fact that she gets that lawnmower service for like $100 every year, where when like it's so much. Just I know we've said it before. Just go get a shitty lawnmower from a Sling Blade type fella.
Mhm.
It's easy, and you can show up, and she'd be like, "Hey, wow, this is new." And then I guess you sell that lawnmower on Craigslist, and you just keep cycling them out every season.
That's the play, I guess.
It's gonna be less expensive and time consuming than fucking going around and being like, "Hey, service this lawnmower from the fucking
Hi,
90s."
Very true.
he's a phony, a big fat phony.
So I had something interesting happen last night at my house.
Yes.
So I'm sitting.
Do
there.
tell.
I was playing some video games and I heard a helicopter. And this is pretty late. It's like after 11 o'clock. And I heard the helicopter outside and I was like, man, whatever. And then like literally my house started to shake. And I was
Uh-oh.
like, dude, what the fuck is going on? So I go outside, I don't see anything, but I can hear it and it's loud as fuck. And I'm like, all right, dude, this is weird. So I go back inside. This is appropriate. And so I go and I my house stops shaking and a few minutes go by and it starts to shake again. I'm like, this fucking helicopter is like right here. So this time I go out to the back and I look out the back. The helicopter is probably the lowest I've ever seen a helicopter.
Really?
It's literally like
No way.
20 to 30 feet above my next door neighbor's house. And it's got all these red and white flashing lights on. It doesn't have like a spotlight shining on the ground really,
Mhm.
but it's got all these lights going off. And it's kind of just buzzing houses and like making a circle. And so I see it and it goes over 787 and it kind of sits there for like maybe at least a good minute. And it slowly, I see all the lights. I can't see the helicopter, but I can see the lights. And it all starts to go like vertical, like it's staring at someone on 787. And I'm
Mhm.
like, man, this is fucking weird. And I like, it slowly starts to go behind my neighbor's house and I can't see it anymore. And I'm like, let me like, I go back up front. I think I like grabbed my phone. I was drinking a glass of scotch. So I grab that and I come back and the helicopter is much louder now. And it's back right over my fucking neighbor's house.
Mhm.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? I still don't know. I got to jump on the Next Door Neighbor app. But then I went outside again because it like buzzed the house probably like a fourth or a fifth time. And this time I just went outside and I'm just standing on my back deck. And this time the helicopter, it flew right towards me. And it's like I could throw a football to this fucking thing.
Really?
And
Right
it-
overhead.
Yo, it's like the light is shining right on me, and I'm just staring at it, and it just fucking turns away and just flies away. And that was the last time I saw it. And I was like, dude, what is
Flying
going
away.
on?
Is that would you consider that a UFO experience?
Well,
Are
I
you
think he
sure?
identified it as a
No,
helicopter.
it was
It was a
It was
helicopter.
definitely a helicopter, but when it was doing the thing where it was going totally vertical, I was like, I've never seen a helicopter
Bro.
do this before.
How sick would it be to be like a police helicopter pilot?
Bro, it was like there
You
was
just-
no other lights.
Have carte blanche.
From like 11 to midnight, just this helicopter was just like buzzing around the arsenal.
Maybe it was the traffic copter.
Dude, imagine just like just a guy in a helicopter. Like the police helicopter guy just like breaks up with his girl and has to like, it's like, baby, come on! Like, just, let's go for a flight, come on. It's like,
Yeah, he
"Oh,
has the like little loudspeaker that you have on a helicopter.
like Jim's neighbor just
Attention.
used to date a helicopter pilot. And he's just, like,
Attention, Stacy!
trying to get his
Please
girl
come back.
Please, baby, I can change.
This is an order from the Watervliet Police Department.
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna try to go on Next Door Neighbor right now.
Like imagine how inflated your ego gets the second you get your pilot's license and you're
Mhm.
flying helicopters around. You're God. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
You can do whatever.
Are you sure it wasn't the Channel 4 traffic chopper?
It did not look like Chopper Dave.
Chopper Dave.
Chopper Dave.
We have uh-oh.
We have
Oh,
yeah, Chopper Dave is a classic one. But that's pretty crazy.
it was.
So you think it was some sort of was it marked as a police helicopter? Or was it just
It was-
nondescript?
It was blue and white. So,
Okay.
I mean, I would guess, and it looked. I'm guessing that it was from the arsenal. Like I said, I didn't see any other flashing lights, and when it was kind of stationed over 787, I was like, there must be like some sort of traffic thing. But then when it just kept buzzing around our house, I was like, is this because those plants that I got? Like, what the
No,
fuck?
you're safe, man.
Tomatoes are legal.
Yeah. Along with other things.
No,
But,
nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
But yeah, that I mean, I would imagine they were probably looking for someone. Someone probably running around,
Gotta.
dropped something.
I will do some digging on the. I gotta re-download the app here, but
This is
hold
a
on. I think I just found it. How
okay.
to how to change my location.
okay.
Location, location. When you buy real estate. Location, location. Helicopters a website.
Yeah, but have you guys ever seen any?
Have you ever been in a helicopter?
No, it's a good. Have you been in a helicopter?
Fuck yeah.
When were you in a helicopter?
So not to brag or anything. But in New Zealand I did like a glacier hike. So they just fly you up in a helicopter to the top of a glacier.
What?
And you just walk on a glacier and I sip some water from the glacier and
Was it ultra pure?
yeah.
Was it some high quality H2O?
It really was. But
Isn't that in Waterboy? Doesn't he have is that glacier water that he
Yeah.
has? That's pretty awesome.
and there's like this mud made by the glacier that they're like put it on your skin, it's so good, and they sell it down in the gift shop.
Really?
Yeah, bastards. But it's really funny because so we were in a camper van for this thing, and I had to run back in because I needed glasses. They wouldn't let you go out because you could get like snowblind or whatever. So I needed to
Yeah.
get sunglasses from the van, and I went and I got sunglasses from the van, and I was looking for them in the back, so I had the door open, and then I would go in the front, I find them, and then I close the door, and I lock I hear I hit the button mad times to lock it. I
Mhm.
go in, we go on this glacier hike, and we come back, and the van door was open the whole time. It was my fault.
Oh no!
Everything.
Jeez.
Everybody had access to everything, but it was New Zealand and nobody did anything.
Mhm.
Everything was there. Nintendo Switch,
Oh my
laptops.
god.
You know what it is? It
Good
was,
on you, New Zealand.
It was so number one, it was a quiet town. It was Franz Joseph. So Eric calls it the great mystery Franz Joseph. How the van? Because like at first I was like in disbelief. I was like, "There's no way I left the van open." You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ, Donald. That was
I didn't
scary.
expect that one. That was supposed to be a different one.
That's like some Family Guy shit where like Brian and Stewie are sitting there, and it's just
Weenie in the butt.
it's like, the matter of the fact they played something from fucking the OJ trial, and then Stewie's just like, "What the fuck was that, man?" But anyway, so my theory behind why nobody like just robbed us blind is because it's customary to have camper vans like out there, and what people do when they're posting up waiting for something and it's hot is just leave the door open so it will vent. So like somebody must have thought somebody was like in the top of the van or just hanging out in there.
Could
So
be.
nobody fucked with it.
Mhm.
But like, dude, it is crazy to think about like how I could have just ruined a vacation entire. Like if I did that in the Bronx, dude, everything's gone.
Yeah, all your stuff is gone, and then would you be able to navigate your way back to the? You'd run out of gas like halfway back to the place you were staying.
Yeah, I did a glacier hike to the fucking trash glacier in Jersey. They flew me in fucking
Mhm.
shitty drone. I don't know, but it was one of those things where like you just had like I had a panic attack that entire.
Mhm.
I was just sitting there like I ruined this vacation. These people hate me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You ruined your
Crisis
vacation,
averted.
did you?
No. When
Okay.
I got in there, dude, I was just like, "See, guys, you know, God's got us."
Mm-hmm. That's pretty terrifying. Have you guys ever had a time when you were traveling where you got like lost and didn't think you were going to be able to make it back to
Speaking of goddamn witch, all right. So there was this one time where we didn't have like a campsite down there,
Mhm.
and it was like basically they closed this highway because they had this earthquake and it fucked up the highway, and they just never got. And it's the one highway in New Zealand, so we had to take all these back roads to this like mom and pop campsite for the van, and so we're doing that, and like. It's just me. Just imagine me driving on the wrong side of the road. It's pitch black. It's a thunderstorm. It's like 1 a.m. New Zealand time or whatever. And I'm just like, fuck, man. And I'm going like 70 because I just want to get there so bad. And then like Eric and Helen are like, don't kill us, man. And I'm like, it was like my shift to drive. And it was like the worst thing. Everybody's having panic attacks because it's like these like tiny, like windy mountain roads.
Yep.
Mhm.
And there's just no fucking space on either side. You're driving on the wrong side. So anytime there's like a semi, the semis are bigger than the road. And you gotta just like fucking hope to God you don't just die. And then we get there and like we try to get over this bridge is out over there, and we didn't realize that there's this little path beside the bridge and it's like a dry creek type thing.
Mhm.
And like Eric, we get the van stuck, and Eric's just like, "Fucking park it, we're sleeping here," and sleeps there. And I'm like, I'm just gonna like hike into the thing because I wanted to like check all my shit and like wash myself, like all that shit, because like I don't know, it was stressful. So I walk up to the thing, and like I find the place. It's a fucking sick campsite. I'm like, guys, it's right there, and like we were like, so I'm just basically hanging out in the camp. Sorry, this is rambling at this point, but panic attack. Everybody thought we were gonna die. Van got stuck. If the van gets stuck, we're fucked. You know. And the next day we just wake up and it's just this beautiful farmland. But like we had no way of seeing anything. It was just us pitch black. It was like a Scooby-Doo fucking van breakdown, right?
Mhm.
Tensions are high in the van.
That's that. I mean, it's especially high when you're in like a different country
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in America, you're like, all right, we'll figure this out. And you're in New Zealand, you're like, where the fuck are we?
Dude, that was the night where like like Eric has like panic attacks sometime. You know what I mean? That was the night where like him carrying Xanax for that one time makes complete sense to me. Like he never has to use them, but like it's like one of those things where like for flights and shit like that, like it's just the ripcord. You're just asleep. You wake up.
Mhm.
All right, I can handle this now. It
Yeah.
was a nice sunny day, and it was just like the moment where it was just like it was perfect. You know, I get it completely. But like, I highly recommend. Like, I when I was going on this flight that I was 14 hours, I talked to my doctor. He's just like, I could give you a Xanax script, you know, the baby ones, and that
Mhm.
is the way to fly. Like, I don't advocate drug use ever. Talk to your doctor, see if it's for you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But like, so I talked to my doctor. I fucking got a 0.5 Xanax or whatever, 0.5 million, whatever it is, tiny amount of Xanax, and you just wake up at your destination.
Yeah, there you
It's
It's
go.
like it's time traveling.
It is time traveling, but you know, use with caution. Don't use at all.
You know, considering all the times like we've traveled, I can't really think of a time where we really got lost. Like maybe sometimes in the city, but I
Mhm.
mean for the most part it's just like, oh, like we just took a wrong turn.
Well, phones kind of fix that.
Yeah.
You know?
I know that my brother Steve years ago, my old family friend of ours brought Steve down to New York City, and they were getting on the subway, and I forget who. I don't know if they got on the subway and Steve didn't get on, or if Steve got on the subway and they didn't get on, but they
Mhm.
got separated, and they were like, "Holy fuck! Like we just lost our like one of our best friends' kids in the city on the subway."
Uh-oh.
God!
And then I think it was Steve wasn't on the subway and they were, and so they just came back and Steve was still he just didn't move. He just stayed right where he was, and they were like,
Oh wow.
"Oh my god, dude, thank Jesus."
Dude, that exact thing
That's
happened
very
to me.
scary.
That happened to me. I was with I was with my buddy, the same buddy,
Ricky?
And, yeah, let's call him Ricky. This is a different Ricky than the one.
No,
from last
different
one.
Ricky.
Mhm.
And so we're gonna go to the Vatican or whatever, and neither of us have a phone that works because we weren't experienced travelers at this point. It was just like, we'll go to Starbucks, get Wi-Fi, figure it out. Should have just got a SIM card put in our phones. It would have been way easier.
Mhm.
But like, so
we did get lost in Boston, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, but go on.
Mhm.
So then we're in the subway, right? And we're just about to make this train. He makes it, I don't make it.
Uh-oh.
Or something like that. Or like I make it and I don't remember. Somehow we get separated and he makes the train and then like I get in on the next one. And they're just like, all the people there are just like, take the next one. It'll be at the like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. Imagine
Mhm.
getting lost like in Europe, just completely by yourself, no phone, and somehow I have to find, like, we haven't even gotten to the fucking hotel or anything yet.
Yeah.
So like finding and communicating with him after that point would have been fucking hopeless.
Yeah, I mean that you always got to have your plan that you set up beforehand, but that just everyone always forgets to do that.
Yeah. Well, the plan was basically like, it had to be like he had to know to get off at the next thing and wait, and then I got off, and then it was just like, oh, thank God. I don't remember. I'll have to ask him. I'm sure it was journaled.
Yeah, I mean, whenever like we went to the city with my dad when I was younger, like we right before we got there, he'd be like, "All right, if anyone gets separated, we'll just meet at this place." Like, okay, cool. So that way, you know, if anything happens, you know what to do.
And when we were in Boston, that was when we went to the Slightly Stupid concert. I remember
Cypress Hill, Daddy.
Yeah, it was Slightly Stupid in Cypress Hill, and we kept looking for. We were just trying to find head shops we could buy. Like
Oh,
pieces.
God.
And dude!
Mhm.
Every time we would Google a head shop and walk to it, it would just be like closed, or the directions would be changing as we got to it, and be like, "Where the fuck are we?"
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude.
I've had a couple. There's one time I was at I was driving from Florida to New York, and I was in North Carolina, and I was like low on gas. I had like 3 bars left, and I was like, all right, I could make it like one more exit, and then I'll try and find someplace.
Oh my God, you silly, silly man.
Dumb idea on my part. So this was before I had a smartphone, right? So I had like my Garmin GPS that I just typed in nearest gas station. So I get to the next exit and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty low here. Like I got to find someplace. So I go like just walking or like driving into this like little farm town. I'm like, okay, I'll be able to just make it. So I get to where the GPS says to go. And the gas station that they brought me to was just up some like long driveway going up to a farm. And I was like, there's no gas station here. Like, damn it. I'm gonna run out of gas and just be screwed. Luckily, I just made it to like a gas station. Like I found another one around the corner that like I had just made it to, or I was gonna run out of gas.
I actually had that same thing happen in New Zealand too. I was because like you're like, I have like fucking a full tank of gas, and like you're driving and it's just like, oh shit, there's not an exit for like an entire tank of gas.
Yeah,
And you're
Yeah.
just like,
you're like,
Especially too,
oh,
you got like a full load of people too. Yeah.
yeah,
how embarrassing is it too when you run out of gas? Everybody's like, what do you got? Shit for brains?
yeah.
Dude, I remember one time we were coming back from Cranberry Lake and we were like dangerously low on gas. And I remember just for like 20 minutes because the light was on and we're just like, yeah, we know there's no gas station up here. Like we're going to run out of gas. And it's just total like silence in the car. Oh God, just make it. And finally, I think we found a place in Minerva and we stopped and it was like the oldest gas pump ever. Like
Uh-huh.
we
I
literally
had a crank handle.
dude, we pulled up and literally like had to go in and they had to like fire the pump on from inside and they were like, all right, so you have to stop like it like if you give me $20, it's not going to stop at 20. You got to fucking let go. And like, you know, if it goes over, you got to pay it. And I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
holy shit. And yeah, dude, it was like you said, like a crank, dude, it was the oldest fucking, the pump must have been from the 50s.
Yeah,
Them turning on the pump is really some guy just getting on a bike back there, just like, all right.
yeah. There's a hamster and a hamster wheel in the back trying to push all the gas out.
I did get lost actually like 2 years ago when I was coming back up from my dad's house too. And I was just driving through Pennsylvania and my fucking, you know, one of those rookie moves, GPS was just like, hey, we found a thing that's going to save you like 20 minutes. And I was like,
Mhm.
all right, sure. And so like, and I knew that there was traffic ahead because it, you know, my phone's telling me. So I'm like, all right, well, if this is going to save me 20 minutes, I'll just jump off the exit.
Mhm.
Fucking big mistake. I get off the exit. I'm in the middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere, Pennsylvania. It's got me going like I'm driving through like Civil War battlegrounds. I'm like, it's fucking like snowing. I'm like, dude, it's like 2:00 when I get off the exit, and I'm like, I have about 3 hours to get to I-88 before it's dark out, and I don't know where the fuck I am, and I
Yeah.
do not want to be in. There's no lights. It's all like half dirt and stone roads. Like literally just I don't know when I crossed the border from Pennsylvania into New York either. I just remember getting to a spot and I was like, oh, this is New York. Like you could just tell. I was like, this is
Mhm.
New York. And I remember the GPS was like, take a left on this divided highway. And I was like, you can't take a left on this divided highway. And for
Take
some
the
reason, like
highway.
in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, never seen so many cars just driving through this divided highway. So
Mhm.
I did have to take a left on that divided highway because if I took a right, it said it was going to take me 2 more hours to get home.
Divided highway.
Did you know what GPS stands for, right?
global positioning.
Satellites.
Guaranteed prison sentence. Because
Oh.
if you follow that thing and you get yourself into an accident, you're going to prison, pal.
Dude, there was a
That's what all the truckers used to say when you go to a truck stop.
really
Like, I followed the GPS here. GPS stands for guaranteed prison sentence. If you follow that thing,
I will
Like,
say,
okay.
when we did go, when me and Steve went out west, we did do everything almost by like roadmap atlas, and that's the fucking way to do it.
that is the shit.
That-
That's
yeah.
a lot of fun.
There's nothing better than that.
yeah, then it becomes a scavenger hunt and a road trip.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You got your little
Yeah.
compass out, like
Well, good too, because sometimes you're looking at the map and you're like, oh shit, there's this thing. Like, there's this thing that they mark on the map.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
get little extra
Let's go that
sites
way.
there. You know, little four corners.
There's
You ever
another
heard of the Four
time.
corners.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
There's another time I was visiting a friend in Tennessee, and I forget where we were driving, but we got stuck in Memphis, and we were
Sorry, I'm just thinking of that song.
I've been walking in Memphis, getting lost in whatever street. So we
on my blue suede shoes and
yeah,
touchdown.
but so
the blues. Sorry.
we get off an exit, right? And we're like, okay, this is the way back to the highway from here. So we go, the GPS takes us to the other highway exit, and there's construction going on, so they have it blocked off. So the GPS sends us back the other direction that we came from, and there's construction there too. So it just kept sending us back and forth between the two places. And like it was confusing enough where we didn't know that was just where we came from. So we would get to the next exit and be like, this is where we just came. We were just here. We just came from here. So after like a half hour of just driving to the same exits, like back and forth over and over again, we're like, okay, we're just gonna go on the fly on this one. We're just gonna go like figure it out on our own, I guess. And we ended up doing it, but put on my blue suede shoes and touchdown.
Boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues.
In the middle of a pouring rain.
WC Handy? Won't you look down over me? I don't remember that line.
Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be.
And I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a bill.
But yeah, that I was driving in Memphis that night, and it didn't work out. But
that reminds me of what you were saying, that GPS just had you going back and forth.
Mhm.
The first time Sarah was coming to Hurlbut Street, the GPS just had her keep getting on like 87 and doing this big loop and going through the tolls and getting back. And she was like, I've driven through the tolls twice. How the fuck do I get to your house?
Dude, that's the same thing that happened to fucking my buddy Twan. Just when we went to the city, somehow the GPS had him going on the George Washington Bridge twice. So he just paid like $40 to leave the city.
It's a fucking scam.
Yeah, it's big bridges, man. Big bridges and tolls own stake in Google, and they're like, hey,
that's right.
what do you say we put them through the tolls a couple more times?
Yeah, it's very weird now. Have you guys driven through like 90 and 88? And
Dude, I'm so pissed.
There's just no tolls.
Dude,
Yeah.
I am so, it fucking jerks me off so much because I have money on